Tarzan.
You may not like who you were. You may have enemies there.
How's it going, everybody? Today I'm reviewing the new film directed by Harry Potter director David Yates, The Legend of Tarzan, starring Alexander Skarsgård, Margot Robbie, Christoph Waltz, and Samuel Jackson. Now this movie's about Tarzan. He's kind of been living the life outside of the jungle. He's kind of accustomed to the old English life in the late 1800s. And he gets called back to the jungle because of some shenanigans that Christoph Waltz causes, and he needs to go and save the day, pretty much. Now, going into this movie, I'm not like a diehard Tarzan fan. I really like the animated film that was put up by Disney way back in the late 90s, I believe. I was a big fan of that, played the video game on N64 a lot, so that was my background with the Tarzan character. I knew a lot about the origin story, more or less, and not so much about his life afterwards. So that was interesting for me to an extent. Going into this, the first action opening scene, if you want to call it that, I was locked in. I was interested. I was intrigued with it. It doesn't have Tarzan in it, but I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then we get to England and with Tarzan and everything like that. And for the first 20 minutes to half an hour, that's kind of what you see. And I just was bored. I was really bored in the first 20 to 30 minutes. You see a lot of stuff between Jane and Tarzan and just their relationship and setting up the problem and what's occurring, and it was just boring. I was very bored for the first 20-30 minutes, and I'm like, okay, this isn't gonna work at all, this movie. But as soon as we start to get into the jungle, I again became a bit more engaged because it's more of the Tarzan that I want to see. I know that's kind of the Tarzan they wanted to show me, but I got to see that. And also, you get to see his origin in flashback form. I almost would have liked that to be the first 20-30 minutes, just all the flashback scenes, because I think I would have been more interested from the get-go, and it took me a while just to be interested and invested with all the characters involved in the film. Also, another problem with the flashback scenes is that it just felt a lot of them, some of them were in the right spot, but some of them were in the wrong spot. I felt like they were just cutting the flashback for the sake of cutting the flashback, and I was like, okay, it's weird. It's kind of taking me out of the whole flow of it. I did like what was happening in the flashback scenes. I shouldn't like where they're placed in the movie. But enough with all the negative talk. There is some great things in it, especially Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson was a standout. He adds a lot of humor and life to the film. Something that was kind of missing throughout of it. There was a very dreary tone for a lot of the movie, but Sam Jackson brings a lot of the humor into it. And he's not necessarily playing the Sam Jackson we're all used to. There's a bit of that, but a lot of it is a different version of Sam Jackson that we don't get to see a whole lot of. Also, Margot Robbie was great as Jane. She's another one of the standouts, I believe, in this film. Christoph Waltz plays Christoph Waltz as a villain. There's nothing new to like some of the better villains he's played, such as in Inglourious Basterds, or even Spectre. I enjoyed Spectre, so I liked his portrayal in that. But in this one, he's good in it. He's fine. He's Christoph Waltz. He's a great actor. There's one, again, dinner table scene between Margot Robbie and Christoph Waltz that had me like, oh, I want to watch Inglourious Basterds again. I mean, I probably shouldn't have been thinking that watching the scene. It was a great scene, though. It was probably my favorite scene between the two of them. It was really great. Skarsgård as Tarzan, he does what he needs to do. As Tarzan, he's a big guy. He's like 6'5" or whatever he is. He towers over people. He's Tarzan. He looks like Tarzan. He portrays Tarzan well. He's nothing special. He doesn't need to do a whole lot of emoting. Tarzan's kind of a little level-headed guy and stuff like that, so you don't get to see a whole lot of range from Skarsgård, but he was good in the role. Also, a lot of the action set pieces I really enjoyed. Whenever there was action set pieces, I was engaged, even when it doesn't necessarily look the CG, like when Tarzan's swinging around in the jungle. You can tell that it's probably a lot of it's CG, but it's exciting. It's interesting, especially some of the apes. Also, the CG, you can tell they're computer animated. They're not like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes because they're not mocap. But it didn't detract from the overall enjoyment of the film because even though you could tell that they were CG, I still enjoyed it. So like I said, overall, again, very slow start. I didn't like some of the editing choices with the flashbacks, but after we got into the jungle, I became more interested, and I started to care about the characters, and with each action, an exciting set piece that happened following that, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ending. I enjoyed pretty much all of it. Even though some of this stuff it's a little unrealistic. Like if you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But like I said, it's a fun time at the theater. I would have liked a bit more fun, but Sam Jackson hopefully saved that for me. So with all that said, I give it a movie rating of a 6.5 out of 10. It's a solid movie. I I can see people, again, being bored throughout it. If it didn't hook you in the beginning, you might not be able to get brought back into the film, and I get that. But for me, there was enough there to get me excited and started to enjoy the film for the last hour and a bit of the film. As for my enjoyment rating, I give it a 7 out of 10. Again, I enjoyed myself from that point forward. It's not going to be in my top 10 movies of the year by any stretch of the imagination. I may or may not watch this movie again, but I liked it for the most part. And if you're interested in Tarzan, you like the Tarzan character, I recommend checking it out. So anyways, are you guys looking forward to The Legend of Tarzan? Are you a big Tarzan fan? Let me know in the comment section below. Did you like the Disney animated one? Because that was the one I grew up on. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos each and every week. That is it, and I will talk to y'all later.